we get a baby?
Right. Hey everyone.
Baby.
Bhakti Fest, or Tucson Bhakti Celebration 2018.
Tucson Bhakti 2018. Thank you, Debbie Barnett.
Hashtag Tucson Bhakti 2018 from hashtag Astro Yoga Woman. AstroYogaWoman.com, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Actually, I call it Spacebook.
Live at the
Kirtan Stage.
Live.
Lovely yantra by Sadhu Bruce. Thank you, Sadhu Bruce. Namaste. So we're having a great time out here in the desert, about 20 miles west of Tucson, Arizona. Today we're doing spiritual astrology, or astrology of the heart. So what does that mean to you when I say that? Spiritual astrology.
Following God's plan.
Following God's plan, okay.
Using astrology for spiritual guidance.
Yeah. Using astrology for spiritual guidance. And what is spiritual guidance? Like, what is spiritual astrology? What is spirituality?
It's catering to our true self.
Okay.
Nourishing, honoring, and growing.
Great. Honoring our true self, nourishing our true self. And so in yoga, one of the niyamas is called svadhyaya. And in my talk yesterday on Yoga Sutras for Daily Life, we talked a little bit about svadhyaya, which is self-inquiry or self-reflection, like understanding who you are. Know thyself, over the Oracle of Delphi. And so we can look at a chart. This is my natal chart. And so this is called a horoscope. So it's a wheel. And it's a two-dimensional representation of 3D space, right? This is a snapshot of where and when I was born. So that's why we need the time as exact as possible and the place. So latitude, longitude, and then time. Because that's your entry into the earth plane. Right? That's when your soul took its first breath as you. And so you can look at this and glean a lot of information. It is another language. People say, oh, I can't read that. Well, yeah, it's a language of symbols, right? So it's more of a right side thing, but then we apply the left brain analysis to these symbols to see what those mean. And so I'm going to be reading from this book, Spiritual Astrology, by Jan Spiller and Karen McCoy, and it's a path to divine awakening. Okay? So what I'm going to read from is whoever's here, like we're going to read about Neptune, because Neptune is the planet that rules Pisces. Do we have any Pisces in the house? Pisces, does anybody know any Pisces? What are they like?
Water.
It's a water sign, yeah. Okay, what else?
Sometimes gentle and yielding and giving.
Yielding, giving, so it's like yin, right? Which water is a yin sign. Water and earth are yin, and fire and air are yang, or more the active principle and the receptive principle. Okay, so Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. It's known to be very spiritual because it's gone through all 12 archetypes and had the experience of all the different signs. So there's an understanding and a compassion. So Pisces are really compassionate. And really, when you apply any spiritual tradition, one of the keystones of it is compassion, right? And empathy and love for the other. And so we're going to look at Neptune in the chart. And Neptune is out past Saturn, so it's not one that was seen a long time ago. Like, it was just a more recent discovery. And it was in the late 1800s. And it's very mystical. And it's also very nebulous, right, and deceptive, and we get addictions like alcoholism or drug addiction or sex addictions or shopping or internet, whatever it is, something that escapes, because that's Pisces likes to escape. But it's also our connection to other realms, right, because we know that what we see on the earth plane is only one dimensional of what's actually happening. But through Neptune, we're able to, like when we go into meditation or contemplation, even just quiet time out here in the desert, we're able to transcend time and space, so to speak, and tune into different dimensions. Has anybody had those experiences? Anybody want to share? spiritual, mystical experiences. I've had some out here.
Synchronicities that
Synchronicities.
are just like, wow, magic. How did that happen?
Yeah, stuff that shows up when kind of like, I was just thinking about it, and like, it'd be really good to have it, and I turned around and somebody hands it to me.
Yeah,
it's right
I've done
there.
that too.
Yeah.
I
It's in the
thought, wow, it'd be
cabinet, you
great if
didn't
they
even know it
did
was
that.
there.
And then they're like, hey, let me do this. And I'm like,
So
"Ooh,
we're spilling into that magical realm.
It
as
is.
we fine tune.
it is. Totally. Okay, so I'm going to read
Here you could read
a little bit about,
that. It's like a cow.
thank you, Bruce.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
We're on the Bhakti
Good
stage,
one.
the Kirtan stage out here at Bhakti Tucson. Alright, so I'm going to read a little bit about Neptune. And keep in mind, this isn't so much a personal thing because this is past Saturn, so this is past our time of what we normally consider time. So y'all discuss amongst yourselves, not being prepared here. So talk about spirituality. What is spirituality to you?
What's spirituality, Brian?
Ryan, what's spirituality to you?
I think it's a connection, you know, and it's not just maybe with one thing,
Mm-hmm.
with many things, or if you have a God, but it also connects with everything else.
Mm-hmm. Is it religion?
It can be.
Religion can be spiritual,
I
but
don't
do you
like
have
it.
to be, is just because you're religious, are you spiritual?
No.
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 How come? What's the difference?
I think spiritual is more experiential. It's not just adopting a belief system and a set of practices.
Uh-huh.
Not just adopting a belief, but having experience of.
So you can be religious and have spiritual experiences, or you can be religious and not have spiritual experiences, right?
And
So
it
there's
just
a
seems
difference.
that it's unfortunate, but it seems like a lot of people that you know that are religious are just like going by the book, but they don't feel it and they're not really doing it, and they mess
It's just
up a lot.
rote.
They mess, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of more like dogma.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's too bad. It's like, you know,
But too
why
bad,
can't
is that a
people-
judgment, or is that?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Because
If
here's,
they believe it, then they should be
yeah,
following
my
it.
belief is everybody's path is their path. You know, and what they choose is what they choose. And when we say, oh, that's too bad, that's like us judging what they're choosing, and it's not really our right to do that, right? And so for me, spiritual, and that's like diet, for instance. Like, I've always been a picky eater, and people try to make me eat things I didn't want to eat, made me wrong for not eating what I didn't want to eat. So, like, I don't look at people's basket and in my head go, oh my God, you're eating that. Like, I don't do that. It's not my business what people eat. You know, and same thing with spirituality. It's not my business what anybody chooses as their spiritual path. And so those that want to proselytize and try to convert you to their way, that doesn't feel right for me. That's just me.
Yeah.
You know, I've been there myself and I've had it done to me, and I'm like, that's not right for me. I've got my path, you've got your path. Let's all, you know, have our paths, and where they come together, they do. And where they don't, they don't. And that's okay. So, okay, I'm going to get all personal up in here, y'all, and ask some birth dates. So I can get the... So I'll just throw out some general things, and so you can go, yeah, that's me, or not. Okay, let me see. 19... Let's see. Do we have any people between 1929 and 1942? Okay, well, No? Okay.
Almost.
1942 to 1943.
No. Not me, anyway.
Okay, 1943 to 1955.
Yes.
Okay, there's Libra, Neptune in Libra. Okay, and then 55 to 56, and 56, 56. It goes retrograde, so it kind of goes in and out, a couple signs. Okay, 57, 70.
Oops, you skipped me.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, wait, okay, 56.
Just got a whole bunch of baby boomers.
Okay, so give me some dates here, and I'll give you the exact, so you'll know.
59.
What's your birth date, though?
September 16.
16, 59.
Why do I
Okay,
feel like
hang
I'm
on.
white?
All right.
Echo in here.
So
Feels
you
like-
are.
If you sit right here, it comes right
Okay,
down.
so Lori,
yeah, the magic spot is right in the back there.
Scorpio. Scorpio. Neptune in Scorpio.
Okay.
Okay. So what are some other
Neptune in
dates?
Scorpio.
There's
October 19, 1958.
10 what?
10, 19.
10, 19, 58. Okay, so that's
Magic's
the Okay, so that is also Scorpio.
Sit there, you hear it.
Okay, page
07/1969.
69. Okay, and that's Scorpio. Okay,
April 6, 76.
76. Okay, and that is Sagittarius. Okay.
Sabato Varenium, January 15th,
We're having a party?
1955.
Okay, and that is
It's my 46th
Libra.
return.
Okay, so I'm going to start with Libra. Okay, so this is the Neptune and Libra generation. And Neptune in Libra. And if you want to record this, you can. It's your spiritual path.
This is for Brian. Neptune and Libra, is that what you said, or is that everybody?
I think that's you and Brian.
Okay.
It's not everybody. Okay. Your generation's potential. Realizing the higher aspects of relating to people on the level of planetary awareness. And look at this place. Planetary awareness.
So both of us.
The innate vision. Creating lasting peace and the abolition of war on this planet. It is also the generation following an ideal of spiritual union and oneness among people. They initiated new ethics of living together that replaced old forms of marriage. This is Libra, right? So Libra is relationships. The Neptune and Libra dilemma. Dealing with idealistic expectations in relationships.
Oh,
It offers the choice of accepting or denying the commitment to personal integrity that is necessary to realize your highest ideals in relationships. How does that land for you?
well grounded.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense. I mean, look at this place, right?
Yeah. And we're
Sort of
working with
sums
all
that up,
this.
doesn't
We're
it?
working with all this. Like, working with it.
But it's your vision.
And we're learning along the way what works.
But you're putting in the work.
Yeah, that's right. We're working with it.
It's your marriage, really.
Partnership.
Bruce is the inspired worker here.
Yeah, I got married to Saraswati.
But
Om Aim Saraswati.
Oh,
Om
Hi,
Aim.
my name's Saraswati.
we have a little Saraswati for
Saraswati
you. I gotta go
Das.
get it.
Saraswati Das. Servant of
Yeah,
Saraswati.
there you go.
Here we are in service to Saraswati.
Okay, so Neptune and Libra about peace and harmony and
Unity.
unity and different way of relating to people, right? Different view of relationships and what marriage means. So that's your generation.
Yay.
Peace, love, and make love, not war.
See, Brent, she said we can keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Validations finally after all these years.
No,
It's
really,
about being conscious of
being conscious of it.
relationships.
Bombs
Brahmachari,
into
etc.
plowshares.
Right.
Yeah.
Bombs into plowshares. Making earth buildings instead of bombs.
Yeah.
Earth buildings instead of bombs. All right. Any questions about that? It's all filling up on you.
Feels good.
It does feel good.
Air now.
Billowing.
Can't ask for too much wind.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy.
Gentle breeze is fine.
Yeah. I didn't want to get out of my car. That was scary. Okay,
Come on.
Neptune and Scorpio. This is most of us in the room, in the kirtan stage. Your generation's potential. Realizing the higher levels of shared material ownership on the planetary level. Because Scorpio is 8th house. So 8th house is other people's money, other people's resources. Like a banker or financial planner manages other people's money. Right? So that's 8th house. Shared resources. Realizing the higher levels of shared material ownership on a planetary level. The innate vision. Spiritual responsibility for Earth's resources as a whole. You are aware of the current human material values and the potential for transformation of those values that will lead humankind to a higher level of relating to the physical world. The Neptune and Scorpio dilemma. Dealing with establishing your value in other people. It is the choice between idealistically expecting the automatic support of other people's resources or responsibly defining material values with them. It also deals with the choice between expecting automatic emotional fulfillment through sex or committing yourself to the self-purification that will actually bring about the realization of those ideals. The hell was that? What was that?
Read that one again.
Somebody recap that for me. Yeah, well, let me put some glue on my lips. How did that land for you before I read it again? I definitely feel like I need to read that again.
Well, I can relate to the part about trying to create a space for the stewardship of responsible, earth
Shared resources.
earth flying, and so that part for sure.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
And you've got like mortgage stuff going on, so
Yeah,
it's home now.
yeah, but it's not shared, it's on me.
Yeah.
So, community,
Mm-hmm.
share,
Shared
together,
resources, yeah.
building.
It's kind of a Ceres energy. Ceres is the goddess of grain, like cereal, like grain and the harvest, and flies. Whenever I speak, it's like, I guess I'm sending out a vibe or something like, yeah, sweet, Sukha. Ceres is about being able to manage the resources that you have so that everybody has plenty and not hoarding it for just a few. Right? It's sharing the resources.
See, I've got rental houses, and I always see I'm providing
Yeah.
people with a good place to live, and I usually get like good people that
Yeah.
last a long time. But then stuff comes up.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I wish it were different.
Right.
Like I had a big tree that I
Oh.
had to take down, the
Right.
old
Oh,
tree.
Part of the cycle.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
So
It did its job.
that hit home.
So I'll read this again. The generation's potential. So this is like late baby boomers time. Like I was born in 62, so I'm at the tail end of baby boomers. Realizing the higher levels of shared material ownership on a planetary level. So we've talked about that, like community. Spiritual responsibility for Earth's resources as a whole. You are aware of the current human material values and the potential for transformation. So the material values, that's Taurus, that's the opposite sign, that's the personal. And then the potential for transformation, that's Scorpio, like Pluto. Transformation of those values, Taurus, that will lead humankind to a higher level of relating to the physical world. Taurus is the physical world. Scorpio is the opposite sign about shared resources. So it's like Taurus wants to hang on and like kind of like grasp things for itself. And Scorpio is saying we need to share the resources. And it's transforming the way that we do that. That's what we're here to do. And then the dilemma that we face, it's Neptune and Scorpio people, dealing with establishing your value with other people. It is the choice between idealistically expecting the automatic support, okay, so being all like pie in the sky, oh, people just take care of me. I don't have to like manage my money and manage my resources personally because Spirit will just take care of me. And I know people, I've been like that. Idealistically expecting the automatic support of other people's resources or responsibly defining material values with them. So like having a conversation, open throat chakra. It also deals with the choice between expecting automatic emotional fulfillment through sex. Okay, so like instant gratification. It's like swipe left or right or whatever the thing is, to get the now, okay, you don't quite match my ideal of what I want to become intimate with. I was going to say something crude, but I won't. Right? That's not being responsible. Automatic emotional fulfillment through sex or committing yourself to the self-purification that will actually bring about the realization of those ideals. So in other words, tapas. When you practice brahmacharya, for instance, instead of like spreading your seed everywhere, spreading your energy everywhere, so you hold it within you and then you share it responsibly and you get more fulfillment. But that takes self-purification. It's not instant gratification. Okay?
And that doesn't just apply to sex, right?
No,
He's
no.
talking,
No, but it's Scorpio. So Scorpio rules
So like
the
applies
genitals,
to kind of like
everything.
everything.
Yeah,
Right.
brahmacharya is it's moderation in all things.
Right.
It's back in the day it was specifically about celibacy, but it's not realistic for this day.
Right.
But it's moderation in all things.
Kind of knowing when and when not.
Food,
Yes.
Whatever it is.
Internet.
Whatever the
That's my
indulgence,
thing. Internet.
indulgence of the moment.
I'm like falling
I guess they
asleep.
I
Turn
guess
the
they didn't
computer
think about
off.
that in those days.
Right, they didn't
That's
have it in
so
there.
good now.
Right. So, yeah, but the shared resources, right? And that's kind of what you guys are doing out here. Is pulling resources and providing community space. So, yeah. Anybody else have something to add?
You want to go play in the pool?
Okay, let's see. The next generation.
Let's listen to
Scorpio and Sagittarius. So this was,
You want to go,
he was born in April.
and
Okay.
play in the pool?
So your generation's potential, realizing the higher levels of communicating in areas of intellect, philosophy, and religion on a planetary basis.
Play.
The innate vision, the rise of enlightenment in the realms of religion and philosophy, and the struggle to find a worldwide medium for positive communication. The Neptune and Sag dilemma, expecting automatic emotional fulfillment to come from following a philosophy. It offers the choice of accepting or denying the commitment to rise above blind philosophical belief and reliance on others. Your opportunity for fulfillment lies in allowing personal experience in the material world to transform and expand your philosophical ideas. How'd that sound? Any back on that? The one that was distracted. She's a mom. Yeah, when she worked.
Hey, come here. High school.
Yeah, right. Don't that make you feel old? I was.
I'm like, I know that you.
Yeah, I graduated 77. It's my password on everything.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, don't tell people that.
I know. Tell somebody. I gotta tell one.
Okay, so you are. You said Capricorn, Casey. 84, yeah. So you're about to have your. That can't be right. Yeah, it can.
That one I can remember.
So we're getting there. All right. So Capricorn. Yeah, that's next. Do we do Sag? Yeah. Okay. So this is perfect timing. Neptune and Capricorn. Your generation's potential. To make an impact on the higher levels of government. That's Capricorn. Your gift. To manage people and resources. The innate vision. A one world government where everyone can work efficiently toward idealistic goals. The Neptune and Capricorn dilemma. Recognizing true responsibility. You believe that the government will automatically take responsibility for the well-being of its people. Your challenge is to take personal responsibility for governing your life according to your vision. You have the opportunity to take charge of situations with a compassionate awareness of the feelings and needs of those being governed. You're welcome. How's that land for you?
Yeah, I think it's part of my job to speak up and do things a little differently, and it seems like when I do that, it feels like it's related to my North Node and Aries too. Like my job is to really be clear about what I need, and usually that means everybody else benefits too, like in a weird way.
Yeah. I have that thing too.
So yeah, I have a lot of Cancer too, so I feel like the Capricorn balances that out. I like the part about being compassionate to those in charge while speaking up.
Right. Cool. Yeah, you're welcome. Questions, comments?
That seemed to hit right on from what I know about you.
Yeah, right.
Can you say another little blip about what the Neptune is about?
Yeah, so Neptune rules Pisces. So it's the most spiritual planet and the most spiritual sign. And so it's our connection to other realms, like our dream time is Neptune, and that's when the veil becomes thin, right? And we're able to tap into other states of consciousness on a daily basis. Like, and if we don't have it, we're not right. So it's definitely something that we need, but it's also an area where we can deceive ourselves and where we can fall into addictions and escapisms and not wanting to be grounded on the earth. Like people that would have a lot of Pisces influence, they don't have boundaries. They the water wants to flow everywhere, so they would need some sort of earth, some sort of physical grounding practices or people around them, or eat foods that are heavy that ground them to the earth, so it kind of creates a container. But Neptune is mystical, it's spiritual. I had a friend of mine read my chart once, Lawrence Walters. He's a Uranian astrologer, and so they're sort of like trans-Neptunian, like out past our realm. And so they look at things differently, and I have a challenging chart, by the way. I mean, everybody does, but it's called a T-square. So here's my Neptune in Scorpio, kind of all by itself in the 5th house. So 5th house is the Leo house. I'm a Leo. So it's it's like my creativity is spiritual. I wrote a book. I'll show you my book. The deeper the roots, the juicier the fruits. 8 spiritual practices for a juicy life. And I illustrated it. It's all in color, very Leo. But it's my Neptune in the 5th house creativity coming out in spirituality, right?
Get a book.
Okay, $10. Special for you today, $10. So what I was going to say, it's in a T-square. So there's a Saturn, Sun, Mercury opposition. So an opposition's like this, challenging. And then there's Neptune coming in as a square at a 90-degree angle, challenging. So a fixed T-square, which means I can be very stubborn and set in my ways and tenacious and determined. But with that Neptune there, what Lawrence said was the Neptune touches everything in my chart somehow. And we had we carpooled from Orange County up to Santa Monica to Bhakti Yoga Shala to go for a Garish Kirtan. And we picked up this guy along the way in Long Beach, Tim Ananda, and he passed not too long ago, bless his soul. But Tim was different. Tim Ananda means bliss, and he's out there. And so Lawrence and I was driving, Lawrence was in the front seat, and Tim and Lawrence knew each other, from somehow. And the guy's in the back seat, and he's talking away like to himself, while Lawrence and I are talking to each other. And he's having like a conversation by himself.
With the guys in the back.
Yeah, with the guy in the back that, he wasn't quite all the way tethered to the earth sometimes. And then we get to this spiritual thing, kirtan, which is spiritual chanting, and my enunciation, because I do this, my enunciation is really good. And he's like, the whole thing was a Neptunian experience. My experience with yoga and with chanting and mantra, and we're going up to Bhakti Yoga Shala and Tim Ananda in the back, and he's like, and then I'm teaching yoga. At the time I was teaching yoga in jail to teenage boys in jail, which Pisces is jail, right? Shut-ins, institutionalized people. He said everything had a Neptunian flavor. And I thought, that's who I am. I'm spiritual. I can't help it. My mom used to say, that Debbie, she's different. She's from Fort Worth, Texas. That Debbie, she's different. She fits out there in California, eating fruits and nuts, doing yoga.
Placement for Neptune. Is Capricorn a good place for it to be? So it sort of balances out that
Okay, so harmonious or not, that's a good way to put it, because most people say good or bad, and it isn't good or bad. It's positive or negative, like a battery. You need both, like light and dark. It's not necessarily happy in Capricorn, because Capricorn's ruled by Saturn. So Saturn is structure and the earth plane and limits and constriction, and Neptune has no boundaries. It wants to sit on the beach and smoke weed and surf all day and not be responsible. That's Neptune. Or be in an ashram, or be in a spiritual retreat where you don't have any responsibilities. So Capricorn,
a little bit of like structured thinking around.
yeah, so Capricorn does give some structure to your spirituality. Like you have a very dedicated mantra practice and your yoga practice. Casey's my coach. I love saying this. I love promoting people that I love. Casey's my coach. She has the Soul Sisters 6-week group that we're just about to finish up, and I've been blessed to partake in. I'm getting all flipped. And so I want to promote her because she does good work. So as soon as I catch my breath.
I second that.
Oh, she's okay. Now that I know that you're Neptune and Capricorn, that makes sense because you're
Have a moment if you
you're
want.
creating. So you talk for a minute about your Soul Sisters group. Why cry?
It's a safe place for women. It's a 6-week experience, and we go through the 5 elements that I studied in India at a yoga teacher training. We practice sharing and listening to each other. We do lots of reflective listening practices. We really witness each other deeply. And I pair the women up with each other so they check in regularly, text messages, calling, meeting up in person. It's really a way to create accountability and action plan for what women really want.
They don't have to just be in Tucson.
Yeah,
It's a 6-week
Yeah, so it's
Monday night call on Zoom. And that's the only thing that you gotta like commit to be present on Monday nights. Yeah.
yeah, and then I
there's
send
some-
out the recording if people can't make it, and then I do one-on-one calls with all the women, so 2 private calls, and then 5 group calls, and then I send out audio meditations and all
practices.
sorts of
Yeah.
things.
And when does the next one start?
That's a good question. I haven't
So
decided
it's just
yet.
finishing now.
Yeah, so this is the second one. It was about 6 months ago. I did the first one. I was gonna do one sooner, and then it wasn't time
So
yet.
what's your hashtag?
Hashtag Soul Sisters? I don't have a hashtag. I have lots of
What's your Instagram thing?
Casey Love.
So
the one instead of
Okay, so hashtag Casey CASEY 1OVE. Yeah.
or at if you're doing that. I think. Right?
So add her hashtag.
Yeah.
So just a way for people to reach her.
Yeah,
So if you're
write down your
interested in
email or
that,
let me know. I'm happy to send out. I send out emails
I'll
regularly.
find her on Facebook.
yeah.
And I
Because I'm
also
videoing this.
lead goddess gatherings in real life.
So
About
this-
once a month.
This is an example of Neptune in Capricorn. She's very structured. Very structured. Are you Pitta?
Sometimes.
Pitta Kapha?
I
No.
know, Kapha Vata.
Kapha Vata, okay.
I struggle to be structured, but it works for me when I do it.
Well, it creates a container for Vata, because
Yeah,
Vata can be very scattered, so having a routine is good for Vata. So Neptune in Capricorn, it's about business, it's about structure, it's about governing and way of creating community in a way that works. Like you can't just, okay, we're going to be in community and there's no rules or no governing bylaws or anything, you know, you have to have structure.
Create a safe space.
And that's the Saturn influence. But then Neptune brings the spirituality, right? She's supporting women on their journey and offering lots of ways of support. And not just in Tucson, because you're doing it online, so women can be anywhere.
Anyway.
Okay. So let's hear a little recap. I don't even know what time we started. You're welcome. I'll interview you for my channel too. Bruce, what did you get from today? Thank you for the bells, by the way. That's lovely. Bruce on the bells.
Brian on the bill.
Brian. Bruce Brian. I'm in the bob, man. I'm in the bob.
We are all Bruce.
We're all Bruce. What did you get from today? Yeah, do you want to share?
Do you want to share?
What you heard me say about your Libra?
No,
Okay.
I'm the bell guy.
Yes, you are. You're being Neptune.
I don't know anything about my Libra.
I don't know either.
I'm sharing.
No
So
pressure.
yeah, you know, I think that it's true that what you said about, you know, my generation and from what I know of Brian's generation is kind of true, and I guess it does have to do with kind of keeping clear about the path and being responsible with it and not going overboard one way or the other. Kind of like staying on the line that's headed where you're going.
Right.
And not falling off too much to lollygag in the weeds, so to
That's
speak.
for Libra also?
No, ours are Scorpio.
Make up that word, lollygagging.
It's in the
No.
dictionary, dude.
I
Look it up.
lollygag. I lollygag on the internet. That's my addiction. Thank you, Bruce.
No, thank you.
Thanks, Nancy.
So this last couple of weeks has been pretty interesting and heavy, and I'm closing on my first house tomorrow. And last week it was broken into twice by skitters or slitters or
Tweakers.
Tweak-
the
Well,
people
people
that
that are
come
sleeping.
and
They
they
steal
sleep
the
in
copper.
your house. They don't take anything.
Squatters.
Squatters. And the first day they were escorted out by the police, and then 2 days later the doors and the windows were wide open. So instead of running away, I was feeling like warrior. Like I feel love for this house, and this house feels love for me, and I'm to be here for whatever reason. Like the warrior in me is like walking around saging and
Yeah.
and like that this is okay, this is my house. But then it gets to be a spiral, like that this is, you know, I gotta protect it. I'm I'm the warrior, protection, my child and my animals and my things are coming in here. And then from today, you plugged me into what my intention was to begin with to get this house, was for community, was to open up and not to be afraid to let in. The right people will come in.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You wanna share?
No, I don't know that I have much to share. I don't know that a lot of it applied to me, except the situation with my houses now, which is fine. But the house that I'm living in, I kind of want to stay. I kind of want to move. So that's still.
It's very Neptunian. Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
My name's Kenny. I'm a Halloween Scorpio. I guess I don't have to say much more. I'm just checking out your vibe here. It's really good.
The whole thing. I mean,
You're right
yeah.
behind you.
Bhakti is spiritual yoga. It's yoga of the heart. So this is Bhakti Tucson celebration, right? So this is our spiritual practices, and that's all Neptune. So for me, yoga is a spiritual practice. The other day I had a guy, private yoga client, and he's like, will you do naked yoga with me? And I go, no. He goes, what, are you a prude? I go,
Oh,
no,
my,
actually,
that's
I'm not
so
a prude.
rude.
I'm not a prude. It's my spiritual practice. So doing it naked doesn't really, it's kind of denigrating my spiritual practice, and this is my lifestyle, my business, and this is my philosophy. And so if you ask me to do it nude, doesn't really jive with me. It's not that I'm a prude. So, but thank you for
I
asking.
think not prude, rude.
Run
He's rude.
naked than do yoga.
What's that?
It would be far more fun to run naked. Or do
Run
other
naked,
things naked.
swim. I would love to swim naked,
I
but
went
yeah.
to the naked
But
yoga
down dog was
class.
some guy's
Did
butt
you?
in my
How was
face.
it?
No thanks.
Nah.
It was really weird.
Yeah,
It
that
wasn't-
doesn't
Butt
sound
and
like
everything
yoga.
else. Like, no.
Yeah, those packed yoga classes. No,
It was,
these
Yeah,
the
no
one
thanks.
at, it was the one at Movement Culture.
All right.
And
So,
she
Okay.
didn't have us
No, I have
stand
plenty.
up.
I'll
She
autograph
didn't
it for
stand-
you.
We did everything on our back. And I'm like,
So if you're
I wanna
interested in my
confront
book,
this
you can get my
feeling
book.
I
Just
have.
text
I
me
don't
or
wanna
call
just
me.
lie
May I see
down and
Yeah.
avoid it.
My
So-
email, astroyogawoman@gmail.com. Again, astroyogawoman@gmail.com. So this is Debbie Barnett, Astro Yoga Woman, hashtag at whatever thing. Thank you. Dos. Okay.
Are you gonna be in the big
Yeah. So I will see you on my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Like my videos, share it with your friends.
This
Little
looks like
monkey
a
clap.
beautiful book.
Thank you. I called it Doing the Dots. That was my meditation, to do the dots. Thank you,
Yeah, thank
Casey. Yay. Namaste.
Thank you always for sharing.
My pleasure.
I love being around you, Debbie.
All right,
Aww.
let's hear for Debbie.
Yay!
Did you see her like her show
Yay.
ahead of time?
My show, the pre-show.
Yeah, the pre-show.
I'll put it on my YouTube video. Okay, so my YouTube channel.
The movie
You gotta go
preview.
see. I did my yoga, a little bit of my practice.